So we're in a different setting today. We're not in a gym, not in a busy event hall. We're sat down having a nice talk. For a familiar face, for me, maybe for yourself. For those that don't know, this is my dad, Danny McKie, a boxing promoter for Joe's Boxing Promotions, and a pro coach and an amateur coach. Quite a big person on the boxing scene, as we may know. So yeah, we're gonna have a talk. I mean, we've never really done one of these, have we?
No, I haven't, no.
I mean, it's about time we have though, innit? About how it all started and stuff like that, and talking about the promotions. But we're all going to sit down. I mean, I've already made a list for you to talk about. I'm quite excited about. So first thing I'm going to say though, congratulations on the Florida Construction sponsorship.
Thank you.
Well, that's quite big for you. Do you want to talk about that?
It's massive, you know. Florida Construction. I worked with them down in London, 4 or 5 years ago. Just a normal bloke like myself. You know, I came from nothing, worked hard for what he's got. Got on really well down there, kept in touch over the years, been hounding him, pestering him. And what it was, he's been given sponsorship, like little bits of sponsorship, like on the odd occasion. And he's always said, you know, I'm going to come to your show, see what it's all about, and, you know, I really want to put some support behind it. So we had arranged like a meeting down in London, travelled down there the day, came back. So I think we left Newcastle for about 7:30 in the morning. Got down there, whatnot. Had a bit of a walk around London town. Met up with him. He took me to his home Albanian place where he goes for like a meal and that, you know. So it was beautiful, like all done up the way what they wear, what their tradition, you know.
Yeah.
Had a glass of wine. Got my paperwork out that I spent hours on end creating, putting together, presentation, costs, you know, this, that, you know, to make it look like the bee's knees. And within a minute of me pulling off the laptop out the presentation, he just went, Danny, I want figures. And I was like, Chloe, I know you're gonna say that. So I slipped him the paperwork, and on that paperwork there was like 3 packages for the sponsorship. The main sponsor was going to be the yearly sponsor, and obviously after that was going to be like, you know, X amount of shows for sponsorship, or one-off like sponsorship for that for one event that he picks. And he went, no, he went, Danny, you know me, I'm a big boy, so I'm going to go with a big boy package. So that was it, the done deal was done, shook the hand, and he took the yearly package.
I mean, it's not like you hear these stories every day, is it? It's like one of them things you share in a movie, but it's mad to hear something like this. I mean, especially for Joe's Box Promotions, it's a big thing for you guys getting this yearly sponsor.
It's massive for us, you know. It's for the company down in London, all the way down in London, and, you know, supporting a small whole boxing promotions company like yourselves, all the way back up north. That's, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that no one's had sponsorships like it, you know, like starting off, but what I'm saying is, like, a company all the way down in London supporting a company all the way up north, it's at the right time as well, you know. Yeah. Northeast of boxing, it's out there, it's up there, you know, it's massive, man. And yeah, it's just, this is what we need. We need people like Florida Construction giving us that support, giving us that time and that full commitment. It's what the Northeast of boxing, not just promotion companies, managers, but mainly for the boxers. Yeah. These boxers out there now need it.
I mean, we've got obviously you've got like the likes of Nathan Comiskey with a 3-0 record. Obviously you've been in his corner. I've witnessed it from the crowd. I mean, he's the right performer. You can tell he's knocked out these 2 knockouts. They've been unbelievable. The likes of Matt McCallum with his area title, 1st of July. People like these, boxing in the Northeast need to be heard of. And
but that's the thing, they are heard of. You know, yeah. And they're only going to get heard of more and bigger if we get the likes of support like from Flobby. Yeah. You know, there's loads of companies out there, you know, and we're not asking for like, you know, big multi-million pound sponsorships. We're asking for like, you know, a reasonable package, you know. And we understand that, you know, times are hard at the moment, you know, not just for like personal people, but like also for small businesses.
Yeah.
But we understand that, but at the same time, you know, there's got to be companies out there that can do a bit more.
Yeah.
To give us the support and backing what not just what we need, but the boxers, the managers, the promoters, everything, you know.
I mean, it's been busy for the past like 3 years or so, isn't it, with COVID? And I mean, a lot of small businesses have stayed up and some have stayed down, you know what I mean? We've witnessed big companies that we've all heard of go down. It's been a tough 3 years, I suppose, isn't it? But the boxing, I would say, in COVID times, it's risen, you know what I mean? People have started to take up as a hobby in lockdown, and it's peculiar because back in the day, you see like Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, you've seen him perform and you've seen him train for like years and years and years, whereas now we're finding out these small little gems that I'm self-taught. It's unheard of really, but it's coming out more, and they need that support from some companies.
I would say that's the modern boxing these days.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's we get kids in the gym who during lockdown, like you say, you know, they've been in the bedrooms, you know, they've watched the YouTube channels, you know, and half of them have come in that they've had no boxing experience whatsoever. You know, it's hats off to them, like, you know, it's good, you know, it's really good that kids at this age, like your age and, you know, younger, older, they're doing a lot more to develop themselves, you know. They're not just relying on somebody to take their hand and, you know, teach me or show me. They want to teach themselves.
Yeah. So obviously on the same topic of like the evolution of boxing, I know the story, but for people that don't know, tell us a bit more of where it all started for you in the boxing. How did it begin? Where did it start?
Be all neat, talking about it. I'll keep it short and sweet. Well, I got bullied, started boxing at the age of what, 14ish, 15ish. The reason why I started boxing for, I got bullied in school, I got bullied outside of school, had enough, you know, I tried to take my own life. Enough was enough, you know, I was sick, just, you know, and one day my dad said, look at Danny, you know, you've got to get something done, you know, you need to do something about it, and, you know, I'm always there behind you, you know, you've got me full back and support, but it's got to be yourself, it's got to be something that you want to do. So tried football, I couldn't kick a freaking football, I had 2 left feet, you know, and I couldn't even run, never mind freaking kick a ball. But I give it a go, it wasn't for me. You know, I'm not saying I didn't love football, I do love football. But it was my cousin, Mala, who said, look, I'm going to boxing, come along, you know, and give it a go. You don't have to box, you don't have to get hit, just do, like, be part of the fitness. So I tagged along. What did I do first? Did I hit a bag? I probably would have hit a bag, obviously I did hit a bag, but I didn't think. My coach at the time, Terry Colson, an old travelling man, he was an old school coach, boxing man, you know, and he wouldn't just let you go in a gym, hire a pair of gloves on and hit a bag, you know, you had to show him. It all started for me was my footwork, you know, show us what you've got, son, you know, in terms of footwork. I don't know, I was more like a freaking ballerina, I never been a boxer, you know. So I dancing about and I just seen his eyes go. So bear in mind, you know, I showed us a bit and I thought, do I go back? I'll give it another go. I went back again. Next thing I know, you know, it took us 3 years to get like all the weight off us, you know, because I was a big lad. Took us 2.5 years, 3 years, like I say, and then I started getting the feel for it, you know, just started doing like bits of sparring, and I was running all the time. I was training all the time, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and I got the buzz for it, you know, I feel for it, you know, like you know yourself being a boxer or boxed before, you know, it's when you're a boxer and you've boxed before, it's hard to explain to anybody who hasn't boxed.
Yeah.
That feeling that you get, you know, and So I started boxing, had a few fights and whatnot, and you know, and Terry's seeing very highly of us, you know, he's seeing a lot of potential in this. And it was coming around about the age of 18ish, 19ish, where, you know, that kind of age, you're chasing the women.
Yeah.
You're out with your mates, and, you know, I started to slacken my training, and like I said before, the Terry was knee mug. He was like, look, son, you're not wasting my time, me putting my effort, my time into you, if you're going to mug us off. And I was like, no, it's not the case, Terry. And then, you know, I started like missing out the couple of days, and Terry just had none of it, you know, and he was like, look, no, it's not working out, you know, son. You're suspended, you know, you get yourself away, I'll give you a call back when I'm ready to take you back. You know, and that day I killed this, you know, because I let the man do, you know. So I waited for about a week or two, you know, and the film with Terry, he would make you wait, you know, and that was just the kind of man he was. Yeah. So I phoned him again, begged him to take us back, and he went, I'll give you a good another go. So back in again, dedicated again, you know, putting the effort in, boxed a couple of times, boxed again, and then yet again, time had passed and I slipped a bit. Next for an hour, I'm up the door again, and then I start working away, and that's when I had eat. And then came back home, just time had passed, you know, like, as does with everybody, I suppose, you know, work gets involved, family commitments happen, your work commitments happen, you know. I never ever fell out, you know. I mean, I think, God rest his soul now, I mean, he passed away for what, 3-4 years ago now. So, I think I'd seen him leading up, I would say a week before he passed away. And he was in a care home, and he didn't look too good, you know, and I went over just to say hello, as to take him out for like a, you know, a bite to eat, a coffee and all that, just to get him at the care home, just to, you know, spend a bit of time, you know. And I always give him a kiss and a cuddle, you know. I'm not ashamed to say that, you know. He was like a, well, he was everything, you know. He was like a granddad, a dad, a brother, you know, best pal he was, you know. I loved the bloke. And I went, right, Terry, you know, I'll see you again, I'll see you next week when I come back. And he just went, aye, you will, aye. And I thought, not like him, you know, me going, aye, see you later, son, you know, like, watch what you're doing and all that. And, and then he pulled this by me arm, he goes, look, can I have a word? I went, aye. He went, become a coach. I went, oh. He went, I want you to become a coach. And I thought out of it. I mean, at this time, I had left boxing, and I walked away from boxing because I am a loyal person. I was totally loyal to Terry. And I made a promise to myself that I would never ever box for nobody else. Yeah. So I was like, oh, wait, okay, you know, need bother Terry, I'll see you next week. And I thought, you know, it's not like him. Yeah. And I came back home, driving back home, which was like an hour, like 30 minutes away from where I lived, you know, and I was like, why did he do that for? Went to work that week, and then, say halfway for the week, I got a phone call of his daughter saying, look, Danny, just to let you know, my dad's passed away. And it's just, I was like, really? You know, like, I only seen him a couple of days, man, he was sound. Yeah. She went, no, he's passed away. So, I came on the phone, I just, you know, broke down. Yeah. So time had passed. His funeral had passed, which I couldn't make because I had other commitments on which I'd previously booked. Good 6 months beforehand. So I thought I've got to see him one last time. So I went and seen him. You know, held his hand. And I thanked him for the commitment, the time he put into us. And still to this day, you know, he's given us like a gold cross, like a chain with a cross on it, you know. And I never ever worn it. the reason being because I never wanted to damage it or snap it, you know. And I thought, you know, he used to always give us gifts all the time of pair of boxing gloves, of, like I say, chain, taking us out for meals, taking us out for days out, you know. I mean, like when he passed, like I put the chain on, and it's always been like a remembrance for us, you know, for him.
Yeah.
And in a way, I owe part of what I've achieved to him.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for that man taking his time, you know, and putting a bit of work into me, I don't know where I would have been. I don't know what I've achieved.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to give other people credit for that. My mum and dad being one.
Yeah.
You know, they've had a big, massive part in it. And they keep on having a big, massive part, you know. Give credit to people like encouraging us to go with them and helping us, you know, and you know, just give us that push. So after Terry had passed, I mean, I wasn't into boxing. I walked away from boxing. I didn't even think I was watching the telly. Not that I fell out of love with it, just I don't know why I didn't used to watch it for, you know. And then that's when one day, like, you came to us and you were like, Dad, I want a box. And I looked, I went, you what? And you know yourself, I've now pushed the internet, no, you know. And I was like, oh wait, so I need that. And I think I was in the kitchen at the time, and I walked in the sitting room, I was like, yes, get in. You know, and you know, so like when you went to boxing for Mark Jobs, Birmingham, Victoria, I can remember you going, Dad, come down and do a bit with us, man. And I said, yeah, remember? I said, teach your son. Haven't done that in 10 years, man. I don't even know how to freaking tie me boxing glove layers. You know what I mean? Freaking punch a bag. And he hounded us, how I come doing. So in the end I went, okay, and then went doing, I think I lasted what? A minute?
See that.
And then obviously matchups, you know, I tried my best doing what I could on the bag. And then Matt Jobs came up and he went, oh, how are you doing? You know, Matt Jobs, he went, have you done a bit? Like, I went, back in the day, I told me about box 4, Terry. He went, oh, another bloke. Well, lovely bloke. He says, he was a boxing man. I went, he was. So, I started going back down a couple of times with yourself, you know, just watching really to watch you, really. Probably punch a bag. Every 20 seconds or 10 seconds, I think it was, wasn't it? Having 30-second rests. And then eventually, you know, Mark came and he said, are you ever considered of becoming a coach? And at the time I came to Mark, I says, you know, it's funny you say that because Terry, my old coach, pulled me on, like pulled us to one side before he passed away, days before he passed away, you know. And he said, look, I want you to become a coach. I went, so like, I would consider it, but at that time I was working away still. So I'm not one of these people who takes on titles or does stuff for my own benefit, you know. Like if I put my commitment in, I'll put my 110% commitment in. And I said to Matt, I says, Matt, I'm sorry, look, I'm not gonna commit to, you know, me saying I can help you out, but I know I can't. I don't want to let you down, I don't want to let the kids down, you know, so at this moment in time, I can't commit. And I think 8 months had passed, working away, down in London, you know, all over, Liverpool, everywhere, you know, and eventually got a job back up home. So this job back up home was going to be a long-term job, you know, so again I thought, well that's good because I'm spending time with like the family, and watching my boy box and that. So I went back down the gym with you, and then that's when I got the taste again, you know. I went, Matt, actually, you know, would he consider re-offering me becoming a coach? And he went, of course I would, son. He says, you know, you went with people, you know. So I said, right, okay, I'll commit, you know. So I started helping out on the classes, on the amateur classes. and it's strange because, you know, like, being away from the boxing for like 10 years or however long it was, you know, it just came back like that.
Yeah.
Like riding a bike, you know?
Yeah.
You're a duck in a pond, it's got to swim in it.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, it was natural, you know, and I started like getting a taste of it. And I started really enjoying coaching the kids, passing on my education, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning today, you know. But it was a better enjoyment in boxing,
Yeah.
passing on that knowledge.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that the knowledge was passed on from my coach, you know, and I got a buzz from it, you know. So time had passed, and then I believe COVID hit. I think
Yeah,
I think-
it's spot on, wasn't
I think COVID hit. I think Matt had mentioned a couple of times about him, like, you know, moving elsewhere with the gym,
it? Yeah.
and I kind of like helped him out a little bit more, like in terms of like behind the coaching side of it, like, you know, I wouldn't say paperwork, but like it was more like, you know, helping out, restocking the gym, tidying it up, you know, ordering equipment, and then obviously I went on to look for like new facilities, you know, help with him, and then it was Matt who found the new facilities above the Fair Home Social Club.
Yeah.
And he goes, right, he says, will he come and, because he knew I was a builder, and he said, will he come and have a look at this building with me? I went, aye. I went, well, like, what's your plans? He goes, well, I've took it on, but it needs a bit of work doing. I went, aye, leave it with me. So I went down, walked inside, and straight away, I got the same visual what he got. You know, like, since I've met Matt, like, I've always seen what he's done for the community.
Yeah.
I've always seen his visual, where his dreams, you know, and I want to follow that on for him.
Yeah.
And I want to achieve that for him.
Yeah.
You know, I want to help him achieve what he set out to do 15 years ago in the boxing game.
Yeah.
You know, and that's me talking really, you know. So I had a look, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I was with another friend of ours, and he was like, Jesus Christ, he goes, we need a fucking building firm for this. And I was like, no man, you're different, man. I says, we're the building firm. I says, we'll sort it out. So at the time I was only like, you know, chairs and bars all in it.
Yeah.
So COVID had hit, and it was a blessing really, because during the lockdown, I mean, I was off work for like, what, 4 months?
Oh, yeah.
And it was the ample time to, what we've done is we made sure we got all of the materials what we needed.
Yeah.
For the build. We made sure that they got delivered before the actual lockdown hit. So, and then that's when bam, lockdown. You know, it was all of the news. Like, you couldn't leave your, obviously everybody knew about it, you know, you couldn't leave your home. You know, so, whereas we were doing bits at a time when we could, you know, going in, working separate. He was over one corner, I was working on the other side.
Yeah.
Knocking stuff out, putting new stuff in, get the paintbrush out,
Yeah.
get the plastering stuff out. We're doing everything, you know, we're doing everything, and you know, obviously we got bits of help when we could of like other coaches, other people from the gym. And then next thing I know, it's like lockdown's all vanished, it's all gone, and it's like, right, Danny, we're going out in the doors, and it's like, where's the time gone? You know, it's just like that.
Fast.
So that was that with the gym, and then next thing I know, Matt came to us and he said, right, you went, I think it's time for you to step up. I went, what do you mean by that? He goes, I want you to become like a pro coach.
Yeah.
I went, do you think I've got it like Matt? He goes, pretty high, son, says, I won't be asking if you hadn't.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I'm the type of guy where, you know, I'm quite a humble guy, you know, and I think, am I good enough?
Yeah.
Can I do that? you know, but like, I always doubt myself, you know, that's one of my problems. But he says, I definitely, he went, I want you to go for your pro coach. I went, right, no bother. Got booked in for the pro coach, passed the test and the interview, what you had to have with the board. And then one day, we're in the gym, working on stuff, you know, coaching and whatnot. He goes, you got a minute? I went, aye. He says, what do you consider becoming like a business partner, you know? I went, a business partner? I went, what, like building firm? He went, no. He went, I want to set up like a promotions company.
Yeah.
I went, thick neck. I went, I'm not going to say no. I went, but where the hell do I start? Or where the hell do we start, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, I'll be alright. He says, we'll sort that out later down the line.
Quick as it goes.
So I says, aye, I'll give it a go with you. And then, yeah, I think you asked Dan Harper, and then I think it was, he asked Dan Howard after that. And then, obviously, with me having my own limited company back in the day, the building firm, I kind of knew like a little bit about how we go about it.
Yeah. So
Dan Harper got in touch with his accountant and he just went, right, okay, we've set up a limited company, like before directors, you know. The letter came to the door and it kind of hit home then. I was like, you know, I'm part of this promotions company, you know. And at that time I didn't know where. Everything I've done in life, I've kind of imaged unknown where I was gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, like I had a goal, I've achieved that goal on my next one.
Yeah.
But with this boxing promotions company, still to this day, I don't know where it's gonna go. You know, even like for what we've achieved so far in a space of like a year and a half, I don't know. I didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been massive. You know, it's just gone from starting point to up there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we currently are now, you know, at the coming day. So fingers crossed, we keep on putting the commitment, hard work, the passion, you know, the love, the time, you know, into it, and let's see where we go. So.
Yeah. So obviously I keep looking down here because I've got like a massive list to ask you, because it's really good to talk about this because we've never had a chance. But so obviously you talk about how it all started and that. It's really quite interesting to hear about that and how it started. So obviously you've had, how many shows have you had now? You've had about 3, is it?
We've had 3 shows. So we had the first show at the Hilton Hotel back in 2021.
Yeah.
And then we had the second show in Feb at the Newcastle City Juniors. And then the third show was down at Rainton Arena in April.
Yeah. And then obviously, so Matt Jobs has already got a relationship with Phil Jeffries, one of the North East's biggest like promoters for boxing. And obviously with yourself working with Matt Jobs, you've kind of like formed a relationship with Phil Jeffries. So what's it like working with a big man, Phil Jeffries? What's it like?
It's massive, you know. I mean, who would think a boy like me working with a big man like him? You know, he's the godfather of the North East, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, well, I would say he's probably the godfather of the North now.
Yeah. You
know, it's huge. You know, he's a lovely bloke, Phil. You know, obviously it was Matt who like got me to meet him, and that. You know, starting off, I was always Matt and Phil communicating with one another. But obviously with Matt having more experience in the coaching side of it, obviously Matt kind of said, look at Danny, you need to like take the promotion side off my hands.
Yeah.
And like, can you look after that side of it? So, you know, like behind the scenes, I do most stuff, you know. Obviously I sit down with Matt on I would say daily basis, when catching up with him, telling him where we are with stuff. But you know, me and Phil, again, we communicate quite a lot. You know, we phone each other, text each other. every couple of days for catch-ups, and I'm always like hounding him, you know, me being me, panicking and worrying, saying, we need a big ticket sale of the show. Oh, don't worry, son, I'm up the lakes, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be back on Monday. You know, he's laid back, but it's an honour to work with him. It is.
Yeah.
You know, he's been in the game for 15 years now. So he knows the game inside out. You know, it's huge. You know, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Phil's still continuing with the boxing promotions up in the North East. He's got one coming up soon, the 10th anniversary for the Stage of My Life show. I mean, I've just had the card for like who's on it, and it's massive for North East boxing, as yourself, because you're obviously Matt Robes and you are in association with him for that. It's like the likes of Thomas Patrick Ward's in it, Mark Dickinson, Nathan Comiskey, we've got is it Adam Cope and Jordan Ellison fighting for the Northern Area title. We've got, who's it, Terry Wilkinson's fighting as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like all these big names, like
Joe Mafosa.
Oh yeah, Joe Mafosa.
Ewan McKenzie.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, we've got Double Hall.
Yeah.
You've mentioned Mark Dickinson on here.
Yeah.
You've mentioned Tommy Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's massive. You know, I've got more CRs.
Oh yeah, more CRs.
You know, these kids have like, apart from Tommy, you know, obviously he's headlining it, so he's the most experienced out of all of them, you know. So, you know, these kids are like really, really good prospect boxers, each and every one of them, and you couldn't ask for like a better card.
No, I couldn't.
Especially for like a 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, at the Stadium of Light, you know, a big stadium like that.
Yeah.
For us to be part of that in itself, it's, you know, it's massive. It is, you know. And, you know, hats off to Phil Jeffries for like allowing us to be part of that. No doubt it'll be talked about months after it, you know. It's a massive, massive show in the northeast of boxing. Yeah. It's huge, it is.
Yeah. Well, obviously I've got it, but if we're doing this video now, I've got a video talking about it after. That's how great it is. I mean, like, it's mad to think, like, these boxers, like, obviously Thomas Patrick Ward, we've seen internationally, is coming to the Stadium of Light to box for the 10th anniversary. Like, that's massive, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, you know, hopefully after this one, you know, he gets a shot at the top. You know, he should have. Oh, massive. I mean, he should have had that shot ages ago. You know, but let him get this one out the way, and no doubt I can see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about it because I love boxing so much. Obviously, you do as well. We're both alike, aren't we? Like, we're always keeping on top of what's coming up next, being involved with it. Like, behind the scenes is a lot more exciting. But it's good though for these boxers. It's like the likes of Nathan Comiskey, he's up and coming, you know what I mean? Being able to be on that card is amazing, to be with all these big boxers that, you know, doing well for themselves and to be putting out there. It's good for these small boxers that, are really good, that haven't been heard, to get on them.
Yeah, of course, you know, and if we keep on doing, I mean, hopefully, you know, I'm not saying that we're going to take over, but hopefully as the years come, you know, once Phil said, look lads, I've had enough, I'm putting my feet up, there you go, there's the keys. Hopefully we can keep on doing these big stadium shows, you know. Hopefully one day we might have a stadium show at St. James's. You never know, you know. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I mean, it's massive for the boxers. You know, it's big. It is really big. And most of these boxers, you know, they've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. Now, if I turned pro when I was at their age, and if I only had 4 fights and I was boxing in a big stadium show like that, you know, I think that would be a big achievement in itself, you know.
The great thing about this as well, but you don't, when you hear about big cards, you don't really see like women boxing fighting on it. And I mean, we've got one on the Stage of Life show, Jordan Barker Porter. Like, we've seen her, we know what she's about.
Yeah, she's been on more shows. Definitely.
She's quite good.
Oh, it's big for, like you said, it's big for women boxing in the North East. At least to have one girl on that card, you know, one lady. You know, it's big, massive.
So obviously, and obviously, you know, you've got big hopes for the company. For the boxing side of it, could there be a women's like card at some point? Would that be a...
I would like one, most definitely. I mean, I don't know. I think has there been a women's bill card or women's bill card? I don't know. Haven't got the time to follow other promotions. You know, I know that there probably would have been, but I know for a fact there hasn't been one in the Northeast.
No. I think that would be amazing. I mean, imagine like the likes of April Hunter on it, Savannah Marshall. Just think about what's getting us excited, because we've never seen anything like that. But because of Joe's Boxing Promotions and the aspects and the views you have on boxing, it's things like those things that you're going to make possible. Like we've never heard of in the Northeast, let alone say down south or over in America. You know what I mean? A Northeast boxing company doing all these things for boxing, it's amazing. I mean, sometimes in the boxing world now, starting to dip in it. It wasn't like it used to be, but now we're starting to pick it back up because of the companies like you.
Of course it dipped, you know. I mean, the full world dipped when COVID hit, but like you said, you know, it's picking back up, and the pace it's picking back up, it's hard to keep up with it. You know, it's like when COVID came, you know, well, it hasn't disappeared, but like when it settled down a bit. Boxing reopened again. Shows started to happen. Obviously, there was no audience. It was just the camera there. Some fights brewing behind the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's picking up, and it's picking up quick.
Yeah, that's good. So let's move on now to. So we've got, these are the exciting parts. I'm really excited to talk about. So we've got a lot of things happening this year for yourself and like the pro boxers that you've got out. Like, so this weekend, I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted, but obviously it might be after the fight or before the fight, hopefully. We've got Matt McCallum fighting for the area title down Bolton on the 1st of July. Yeah. What's your predictions for that? What do you reckon?
It's going to be a tough fight. It really is, you know. But at the same time, our boxer, Matt McCallum, you know, he does want a tough fight.
Yeah. And
he is a tough boxer, and he's a tough man, you know. And it's either now or never for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it first came about, like me and Matt were sitting down and discussed it before we approached Matt McCallum about it. And we both admitted, you know, it's a little bit early, more than what we liked. But however, if we didn't take the opportunity, that was like percent on the table, will that come back around again?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So we had to make that decision to say, yeah, we'll go for it, or say no and potentially not for that, you know, for Matt McCallum's chance never come again.
Yeah.
So it's his first 10 rounder. You know, he's been doing plenty of sparring, you know, 10 rounds. He's an absolute, you know, he's the fittest boxer, at least one of them that we've got, that I've seen. His commitment for the training, you know, with Translaughter, his strength conditioning, with like obviously Matt in the gym, you know, his own commitment, going off for like runs on his bike, going off for walks, you know, doing everything he can to maintain what's needed for that fight. Yeah. You know, and you gotta give him credit for that. Yeah. Now, I mean, he's down London now, and you want to go down sparring. You know, that's how committed he is. Yeah. You know, so like I said, it will be a tough fight. Yeah. But you just got to stick to what he knows best. Yeah.
I mean, obviously you know me and you, we've got like a good relationship with Matt. We always see him in the gym, and if you look on the channel, you'll see like the training video at the beach, and the commitment is there for him. I mean, like,
oh, totally, yeah,
day in, day out. Like we've witnessed him like sparring before, and it just seems like the bloke's got no stop. Like he's just going and going and going. But that's what we need in the North East, isn't it? People like him.
And there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Competition.
Yeah.
Between him and Nathan.
Yeah, there is a pretty good.
And you can see every time you walk in the gym, if they're sparring, if they're on pads, you know, if on the one machine, you know, it's like they're kind of looking at each other in the corner eye, thinking, not beating me yet. But it's, there's no hardship there. It's funny, and
Yeah.
The pair of them are just fully committed to the up and coming fights.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was on the beach with them training, like you said, they are quite competitive, but it's a good relationship between the both of them because they bounce back off each other and they work with each other to help commit stuff.
It is 100%, yeah, but it's not just with them as well. It's with every boxer we've gone there.
Yeah.
Every boxer in our gym has got that bond, that relationship. There's not one bad apple in there.
Yeah.
Everyone helps each other. Everyone supports each other.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've got the other boxers who's boxing in August on the next show. The commitment from them as well, and helping each other. You couldn't ask it. It's great to see. It's not just great and good to see, but it's enjoyable and lovable.
Yeah, it is. It's like even for the women, so you've got Laura Wilson ready to make her pro debut, which I'm pretty excited to see, as well as Kerry Haley. She's making her pro debut on the
30th of July.
30th of July, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then she's fighting on the 27th of August, isn't she?
Yeah.
And also fighting Claudia Fifor. Not quite sure how to pronounce her name.
No.
It's a funny one to pronounce, isn't it?
It is.
But it's...
I couldn't pronounce it.
No. I couldn't. I was a bit confused, to be fair. But it's really good to see that because it's like, I mean, obviously me doing the media and stuff like that, it's pretty exciting to see, Jordan Porter fought Claudia, and then seeing, obviously, Kerry now fighting her. It's like building up that anticipation to see them ready to go.
With Kerry, I think she's been let down 3 times now.
Yeah.
And we felt bad when the same opponent came at the Newcastle City Junior show, and she was overweight by nearly 2 weight divisions. And it's like she's flown all the way over here. It was so frustrating. It was frustrating for us and annoying for us. But most importantly, it was just, it was a shame to see Kerry's emotions from that, and I was hoping that her pro debut was going to be on our show. I think I would have liked to have had that honour.
Yeah.
But however, our pro debut came sooner, which is the 30th of July, and I think, hats off to her. I hope she does well, and we'll see her again in August.
Yeah. So on the August show, it's going to be back in the Rating Arena. Is that correct? Yeah, the Rating Arena.
Yeah.
Back there. I mean, we've seen already what that venue's like for boxing, and absolutely amazing crowd pleaser.
It's one of the best places in the Northeast, for a boxing show. I mean, it's big. The company owner, the staff, they all want to help you, work with you. It's brilliant. It's big, and it's big for us to be promoting. For a year and a half for us to actually hold our events there.
Yeah.
That big. It's big. It is big.
So obviously we've got on the August show you'll have Kerry fighting on it. Who else have you got?
So we've got Laura Wilson, which is our own boxer. She'll be making her debut.
Yeah.
Again, watch her space.
Yeah.
Because when she starts getting out there,
it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Then we've got Andy Simpson. He's making his debut. Again, he was meant to make his debut back in December at the Hilton show. But due to a injury that didn't go to plan. And then we've got Sam Wallace back out again. Sam fought back in the Hilton in December. Again, he was meant to be back out sooner than expected, but injury happened to him, so unfortunately he couldn't box on the show. But however, he's back out again in August. We've got Jeff Saunders, he's on the show, and I've just confirmed that Kai Richmond is on the show. So we've got obviously we've got do I mention again?
So we've got Kerry Haley,
Yeah, Kerry,
Laura Wilson,
yeah,
Andy Simpson,
yeah,
Sam
Sam Wallace.
Then
we've got Bazzy Razik.
Yeah, Bazzy Razik.
We've got him on, and then we've got Nathan Forrest.
Yeah.
He's another one to watch out for.
Yeah.
Great amateur.
Yeah.
Full commitment from him. He's in the gym 24/7.
Yeah.
He's a good another prospect to be watching out for. Then mentioned Jeff. Yeah. There's a few,
Yeah.
There is a few.
Yeah.
Just the names have gone up your head a little bit,
It's
but they'll come back. But I know for definite. I think up to now we've got. I mean, we'll see how this fight goes with Matt.
Yeah.
But potentially making him back out in August. If not, we'll be getting him back out later on in the year.
Yeah.
But I know for certain up to now we've got 10 boxers confirmed on the fight.
Yeah.
And we're all looking to have a full card of 12.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited about that. So we've got the August show at the Rating, and then in December for the second year running in the Hilton. Is there any plans for that yet, or is it still a bit early days?
It's the venue was booked. We haven't really started working on that behind the scenes. We have got, obviously we've got ideas of who we're putting on there.
Yeah.
But again, it'll be confirmed. But again, the Hilton Hotel, it's a black tie dinner show.
Yeah.
And the first one what we had was, brilliant, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Mind blowing. So again, no doubt it's going to be another mind blower.
Yeah, I mean, from the first Hilton show, from what I've got to say, Adam Gare first TK, that was some about.
There was a build up way before the bout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
At the press, at the weigh-in, they were at each other. I mean, TK is just retired. I wish him happy with retirement. But there was a good build up on that one.
There was, yeah. It was quite exciting to see, really. Who else did we have on that first one? We had
Sam Wallace.
Yeah, Sam Wallace.
Again, boxed beautiful.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
One of the best boxing matches I've seen for a long time. Unfortunately, on the last round, he just got hit with a lucky shot. He just switched off that split second, and he got caught. In my eyes, I think it got stopped a little bit too early. I think the referee jumped in a little bit too quick. If the referee hadn't stepped in too quick, I think, no doubt about it, he would have won.
Yeah.
He was winning.
Yeah.
Then we had Rico Samba on the show. Again, box great for the 4 rounds. First professional show, boxing show he had. Nerves got a bit of him, so of course they're gonna, on your first pro debut, it's gonna happen, innit?
Yeah.
But again, box beautiful. Then we had Sam Menzie on there. That was good bout with Sam Menzie. It's always good to see Sam Menzie and his coach Mal Gates. Who else do we have on there? We had who did he mention before, man?
I see what you mean now about names, innit? There's that many people that I can't think of.
I'm bad with names, full stop,
Forgot myself.
I've got mine written on my hand, just to remember.
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? There's lots of names out there on these shows, but it's what we need, it's getting out good. But not only for, obviously we've got the boxing show, so you've got the August one, July with Phil Jeffries, and then we've got the December at the Hilton. Big one we haven't talked about yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing this, because obviously Joe's Promotions hasn't done this yet. A talk show with the likes of Carl Froch and George Groves with mckie Promotions. Yeah,
it's co-promoted with mckie Promotions. Dean McGuinness down London. How that came about, I'd seen the advertisement online, and I thought, oh wait, actually, no, I tell a lie. He contacted me I think you must have seen a poster put on, and he contacted us. I forget what I mentioned, and oh, that was it. He says, "Oh, Birmingham," he says, "just to let you know, I'm coming up to Newcastle. I'm putting a talk show on in October." I was like, "All right, no problem, mate. You know, never thought out of it." So I texted him back. I says, "Actually," I says, "I wouldn't have minded if doing like a co-promotion on that." And he went, "Well, we still can, you know."
Yeah.
So I picked the phoned him, discussed it, and he sent us like the posters and whatnot. And you know, that's like you said before, it's big enough to have like been operating for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
For us to be helping co-promoting two big names in boxing, Carl Foch and George Groves. You know, it's massive. You know, great.
You know what it is? I'm really looking forward to see this because like you might have seen online the interviews of Johnny Nelson, Carl Frosh and George Groves, Gloves Off. I think that's what it's called, the interview. I mean, them two, it's almost like it's the most argumentative boxing bout in boxing history. You've never seen nothing like it.
It's like a boxing cartoon, isn't it? You know,
it is, yeah.
It's like cat and dog. It's like, obviously, I love to. I'm looking forward to see the pair of them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, because you only see them on the telly, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, in front of the camera, and it's like I wouldn't say they put this front on. They don't, but like it's like Carl Fox is always like, you know, pecking at George, you know, and it's like, and George, you know, is like snaps back now and then, you know. It's like it's gonna be good to see what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously they had the first fight and then the rematch happened, and then the feud kind of stayed a little bit on with them, but now it's kind of, I think they've kind of come to terms that, you know, they might maybe a bit of like outside the boxing world, and they don't have to fight each other as much.
Well, that's it with boxing, you know. There's a lot of some boxers, should I say. There's always that odd occasion where you have that bitter and that hate between them. But as soon as that bell goes, you know, on the last bell, it's like bam. Yeah. Gloves are off, shake a hand. You know, it's a man's sport. Yeah. You know, the sport's criticised, or it's, you know, it's bad because it's fighting, and it's not. No. Boxing is a sport, and you know, you watch these boxers who've been at each other leading up the fight, come fight night, it's like, you know, let's face it, you know, they want to, I wouldn't say they want to hurt each other, but they want to have a good go at each other. Yeah. But like I said, you know, when the bell goes, the last bell, it's like, right, okay, you've been a better man, I'll shake your hand, and that's what it's all about, you know. It's tit for tat. Yeah, it's really good. So for people that don't know, how could they maybe come see this event? How can they get in touch about it? So it's on the 14th of October at the Crown Plaza in Newcastle. There's still tables available. There's VIP tables, which is £800, and then we've got the sponsorship package as well. Get in touch if you want the sponsorship package. You get a meet and greet the two boxers, and you can also have your logo displayed at the event. And if you follow mckie Promotions, the payment link is on his website, or you can contact us and we'll get the tickets sorted for you. Yeah, and obviously you've got like the 17th of July show with Phil Jeffries, and the August show and December show. How do people get in contact about that one? How do they get that one? All of our social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any more? So we've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then YouTube now. He's all on YouTube. We've just set up the YouTube account, so that's opened up right now. I still haven't got a clue what I'm doing with it, but no doubt I'll get my head into it. Yeah. And I've just set up LinkedIn. We've now got like a LinkedIn page, mainly for sponsorships, companies and corporations. All I've got to do is just type in Jobs Boxing Promotions. Right. And we'll be found. Yeah. So what I'll do is, if you are wanting some tickets to grab,
or you are wanting to check out Joe's Boxing Promotions and what they do, I'll leave the links all down in the description, as mentioned, to the social medias. I mean, it's not been missed, is it? I mean, like, we've had the rating show, that was phenomenal. I couldn't even say that word. I don't know why I chose to say it, but it's amazing shows. Like the rating one, like I said, like you've got brilliant cards coming up, you've got brilliant plans coming up in the future. Not to mention like the Hilton show, are you having them yearly or?
We'll hope to, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, we've got to. That's how we started, so yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you can already tell we've got big plans for this amazing boxing company, so it's not to be missed. So if you all want to check them out, the links in the description will be available for you to check them out. Like tickets are available. You've also just got merch, haven't you?
Well, have I? So we've got like a cool like firm polyester material.
Yeah.
Perfect for like summer days. We've got like a lime green, a light blue, navy blue, and a black and a white.
Yeah.
And it's got the Joe's Boxing Promotions logo. Actually £20 per t-shirt, or you can buy two for £35. So get at us for those t-shirts.
That's a perfect way of doing it. But that's what we want to see. We want to see them at events. We want to see them, you know, people are training in them. You know what I mean? Get them heard. Joe's Boxing Promotions. I mean, come on, it's Newcastle. You know what I mean? We've got to get it out there.
Of course we do, and it will.
And it will. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, it's been a long-awaited interview with you, obviously with Dad, so we're always together, we're always busy on, we're always on the tours.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this without you, son, you know, and it's been a pleasure to have you on board, you know, it's been a pleasure to work with you, and I'm looking forward for the future with you. So most importantly as well, not just about us, right, about him as well. So get at him, follow him. He's only 16, right? And for what he's done and achieved at his age, you got to give the kid credit, you know. Follow him, like him, and keep on doing what you're doing for the support, not just for us, but for everybody, for TJ, Joe's Boxing Promotions, and again, thank you to Flowy Construction. Also, a big thank you to Terry from Jigsaw Recovery. He's been the previous main sponsor. He's still a sponsor to date, and he's going to continue to support me and give him what he can in terms of his help and his support to the company, to the amateur club, for everything. And I want to say thank you for what you do, Terry. A big thank you as well to Phil. It's been a pleasure. It's going to be a pleasure, mate, and I look forward to working with you again. And a massive big thank you to Matt Jobs for bringing me on board, having the hope, you know, having the passion and having the trust that I put in to get the company the way where it's going and how it's going. And it's only for yourself, for the club, and for all the boxers. Big thank you.
Favourite from the main man himself, Danny McKie, also my dad. Joe's Boxing Promotions, links will be in the description for your merch, your tickets, their social medias. Favourite from the main man himself. Make sure you subscribe and like and follow. We're on Instagram now and TikTok. I mean, we'll be doing lots of more of these. Probably on the go, probably see we're in event halls when it's not as quiet as this. Probably bouncing, got the crowd going.
I'll have to grow my hair then, won't I?
Just a bit. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, and
thank you.
It's been amazing to hear about everything and letting people know what amazing things are coming to the North East.
Thank you, son. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe and follow for the next one. We'll be coming out shortly with a new video about the whole card of the 17th July show at the Stadium Light for the 10th anniversary of Phil Jeffries and Joe's Boxing Promotions. And there'll be more to come now. Now I've got more time on my hands that I'm really pleased about. We've got things coming up in the future that are not to be missed, so there's definitely a reason to subscribe and turn that notification bell on. So I'll see you guys in the next one.